I am asking and respectfully requesting the honor of your presence on January the 14th as I return yet again to my official venue here in New York City, the Cutting Room. The Cutting Room is it's a veritable, I don't want to say a mecca, I don't want to use the incorrect word, but it is the wellspring, the situs, the pole star, it is the best venue for what I do. And I want you to join me on January the 14th of 2023. Can you believe this? Yes, we're saying it. As in the next year. Tickets are available below. Let me tell you what I do. First, it's not stand-up comedy. I'm going to say a few things to you first and foremost as I intersperse my observations of the world with my entreaty to you to join me. First, this is not stand-up comedy. I hate stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is dead. And the reason why it's dead is because it's everywhere. It is so ubiquitous. It is so, you've seen this. Why do I want to go see someone? And you might disagree. But if I have seen every single thing they've ever done, I know their new material, I know their style, I get to watch it again. There was a time when people would actually go out to see people because they just you never saw them. You never saw them. Think about that. Now, granted, times have changed. There was a time when we used to travel 300 miles to see a fat man who weighed maybe 300 pounds. Today, kids weigh 300 pounds, but that's a different story. I hate stand-up. A couple of reasons. First, it seems to have been, dare I say, infiltrated with people who are not even remotely possessed with any artistic ability to wax comedic. Now, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that rude or but it's true. There are some greats, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go through them. There are some who I think are formulaically and formalistically, in terms of the formatics, they're able to just be, they're absolutely textbook perfect in delivery. And the reason, now listen carefully, the reason is that what you are seeing is the burnished, polished, tightly choreographed wording of a routine, of a bit, of a recitation that's been done many, many times. At the Cutting Room one time, after one of my shows, immediately following was Dave Chappelle. So I kind of opened for Dave Chappelle, sort of. And it was fascinating because he was trying his new material, working things out, which is what Carlin did, everybody else did. And it's a very, very smart and wise thing to do. In fact, the best thing to do is to give people the impression that what you're doing is almost, off the cuff. So he is extremely wise and extremely expert at this, but not everybody is. They just closed Caroline's in New York City. Caroline's was the venue of venues. I played there many, many times because I've been doing and did do what used to be called stand-up comedy from almost 30 years ago. In 93. Played everywhere. Because New York, years ago, was a comedy showcase. In Jersey, Connecticut, and New York. I played Bronx and all the boroughs and name it. Atlantic City and it was a much, much different time. Something happened concomitantly to the world of comedy. And by the way, remember, what I'm doing is not comedy. I'll explain in a moment. What happened was, and I don't want to use this term, but I will, this radical left, but mean, angry, scattered, kind of a diffuse, this blunderbuss, we hate Trump, I'm thinking, this isn't very funny. What I do is simply this. Number one, and despite what you might think, I start off with the premise that I let the situation lure me into it. I find things very funny, not necessarily because of my particular take, but because of what they are. And what I do, and here's the payoff for 5 minutes if you're waiting for me. What I love to do, and we did this last time at the cutting room, we had some 3x5 cards left at all of the tables with those little pencils, like scorecard pencils when you play golf or bowl. Remember when you would write this? Anyway, they would write the questions out. And the questions were brilliant. Brilliant. Which made me think. And it made me respond. And it made me talk to you. It made me respond to you. And to others who were saying, yeah, that's pretty good. Now, the reason why stand-up comedy cannot do that is because you cannot have interactional, interchange and exchanges because of the fact that it throws off the pattern. One time somebody said, do you mind if I go on? Can I go on? And I said, yeah, sure, help comics, I guess. He goes, I have a tight 5. I didn't know what that meant. A tight 5? What does that mean? He goes, he worked forever on 5 minutes. My first professional act ever in this area was at the Claridge in Atlantic City. Did over an hour. I didn't know you didn't talk an hour. I did not know. Nobody said, you're not supposed to go an hour. You're just starting off. I had no idea. I couldn't stop. Because the world is my set list. The world is my tight 5. The world is my, how do I say this? It's the basis of this. So what I also do is I intersperse it with bluegrass. I play the guitar. Gutbucket. Country funk. Bluegrass. I will pattern some songs that I write myself, most stylishly penned. There'll be a sing-along perhaps. But it will be a combination and an admixture of me talking about things plus you. Now, if you think I'm going to go out and extol the virtues of Carmelita Harris and Joe Biden, I'm going to tell you right now, that is not the case. I'm warning you right now that I can almost guarantee you that there is, I think I say this, nothing that I find favorable but absolutely funny and hysterical, unended regarding Mr. Biden et al. So please, do me a favor. Do me the favor. Join me and groups of your like-minded fellow travelers on January the 14th in New York City. Now let me explain something and be very, very clear. New York is open and ready for business. I don't know what you've heard. I don't know what you're thinking. If this is like some death wish, crime, this maelstrom, this vortex of Gomorrah. No. You should see this area. You should see Christmas. It's beautiful. Rockefeller Center, as we speak right now, it is incredible. So I want you to join me again. I'm going to have the information, the tickets available below, as usual, which makes a lot of sense, all right? And the tour, by the way, is called Slouching Towards Armageddon. And for those of you who might remember Yeats and the Joan Didion essay, Slouching Towards Bethlehem, this is indeed the hearkening, the anticipatory, yet Pythonic, Vatic announcement of an apocalyptic denouement, eschatological perhaps. I don't want to get too heavy about this, but that's exactly what it is. Because right now, we are in a world that doesn't exist, has never existed, and the rules make no sense whatsoever. So please, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you so much for being a part of my presentations through the years. Thank you for liking this and retweeting and subscribing. But please join me. I promise you. And also, you get to meet like-minded individuals. I shake every hand. I take pictures, whether you like it or not. I will force you to take pictures with me. I'm not one of these, hey, how are you, out the door. This is about a movement. It is about a grand and glorious time that we, as brave and as intrepid and frankly petrified patriots, can certainly enjoy. So anyway, thank you so very much. January 14th. Stage time, curtain is at 7, doors open at 6. Great venue, great food, an institution in New York City. One of the, dare I say, coolest venues, the Cutting Room. Tickets available below. Thank you so much. Have a great and a glorious day. And now comment as you see fit.